Hey guys, in this video we're gonna go over how to make quick and easy gold in Mortal Online 2 as a new player starting out in Tindrem with no money or gear at all except a two-hand weapon of your choice and some bandages. We're gonna go from broken naked to having a bank full of gold and a full set of pretty good gear for someone starting out. You'll also be able to farm a lot of Clade gifts XP, which is always good, and I'm gonna show you exactly what to do and where to go step by step. If you're following on from my last video, you'll have a two-hand weapon and some bandages already, but if not, just kill a few zombies in the graveyard to get 1 gold or so and then buy a two-hand weapon from the trade broker and some bandages from the utility vendor. You can find out how to do that in my previous video if you're not sure how or where to go. In the same video, you'll also find out how to get to Tindrem from Fabenham if that's where you are right now. So what we're going to do here is visit a dungeon within the city called the Tindrem Sewers. There are 2 entrances to the dungeon, but in this guide we'll be using the main entrance from within the city. Just follow the path you see here to get there and then keep heading down the steps to head inside. Keep in mind that the Tindrem Sewers are not protected by any guards and you will run into other players there who may try to kill you and take all your loot. You also might run into friendly players who avoid you or even help you out, and you may even make a friend or two. There's nothing you can really do to avoid criminal players here, but if you do run into them, you can try to talk them out of attacking you, run away, or stand your ground and defend yourself. You're gonna wanna loot any barrels that you see by aiming at them and holding R, and kill as many scoundrel NPCs here as you can. They're not too difficult to kill, but they are a lot harder than zombies, and they can be a real threat if you don't take the time to block their attacks well, or if 2 or more attack you at the same time. Because of this, you'll want to make sure to keep your health high at all times using bandages and resting whenever you can. When you loot barrels, just take anything that looks like it could be valuable, like scrolls, as they can often be sold for a few gold to other players using the trade broker once you get back to the city. As you loot the scoundrels, collect their heads and you'll notice that each one is worth 40 silver, which is a lot more than zombie heads go for at just 10 silver. Just 10 heads can be sold for 4 gold, and if they haven't all been killed by other players yet, you can kill about 10 scoundrels pretty fast when going for a quick run through the basic part of the dungeon we're going through now. The dungeon is a lot bigger than what you'll see in this run, and it goes pretty deep down. There's even a boss you can kill and some other types of enemy NPCs, but that's usually where you'll find a lot of criminal players too, so going down there is a lot more risky. For now, as you have barely any gear, it's best to do a quick run or two through the more basic upper part of the dungeon where we are now to get in and out quickly and make some gold. Keep going through the dungeon, killing and looting all the scoundrels you see, and make sure to keep your health high at all times before going further, as you never know when another enemy or player might show up and decide to kill you, especially if you're low already. As you make your way through the dungeon, you'll want to either come back up into the city through the same way that you came or through the other entrance, which is what we're going to do here. The other entrance is just outside the city walls, and so if any players are out here, you'll be vulnerable and too far for the guards to help. Most of the time it should be clear, but it's good to keep this in mind. Run back into the city and head to the main inn with a beer sign outside of it. Then sell the heads that you looted, and you'll now have a few gold that you made pretty easily. Now head to the trade broker if you looted any scrolls and search for the names of them, then sort the listing by cost to see how much they're going for. If you were lucky enough to have looted any scrolls worth a few gold, either keep them for yourself if you plan on using them, or sell them, undercutting the competition. Once you've done that, just head to the banker NPC nearby and deposit your hard-earned gold. Now you've gone through one quick run of the upper part of the Tindrem Sewers and earned some gold as well as leveled your Clade gifts. The best thing to do now would be to go back and do it again, trying to keep your next run as quick and efficient as you can, so that you can stack up a bit more gold, learn your way around the dungeon a bit better, and get some more Clade gifts XP before we move on to the next part of the guide. Head back down into the dungeon and repeat the same process, remembering to keep your health high at all times. As you run through it a few more times, you'll get a lot quicker, but it will also be a lot easier to go through as you upgrade your gear, which we'll do right after this run. Look inside any barrels you see as you continue to see if you find anything that could be valuable, and if you get lost, just try to follow the path you see in this video or retrace your steps. It's definitely easy to get lost down there, but it's always possible to get back out, even if it takes a while to figure out which way to go. Try to avoid heading deeper down into the dungeon if you're trying to get out, and feel free to ask other players for directions if you see anyone who happens to be friendly enough to help you out. Keep going through the dungeon until you end up coming out again through the entrance just outside the city walls like before, and then head back to town again. Just like before, go into the inn with the beer sign right outside of it, and then speak to the nearest vendor and sell the heads you looted. Now head to the bank again and deposit your hard-earned gold. You should now have enough gold to buy a full set of pretty decent armor for a new player, as well as a good quality longbow that will make it way easier to go for more runs in the dungeon as well as dive deeper down into it. Take your gold out of the bank and talk to the trade broker, then tap on equipment and armor parts and sort the listings by cost. From here you'll see a list of different types of armor at different prices. Just buy a mix of pieces that look good enough for now and that don't weigh too much. Try to buy similar pieces to what you see here if you're not really sure what you're looking for, and you'll be okay. Once you've bought a full set of armor, close the window and right click on each armor piece in your inventory to equip them. Even basic armor like what you just bought now will help a lot when compared to being broke and naked like you were before. Now we're gonna look for a good bow. Take a quick look at your strength level first in the character window and take note of any clade gifts you might have increasing your effective strength when it comes to wielding a bow. Then talk to the trade broker again and tap on bows and search. My character has 90 strength, but it also has 2 clade gifts that allow it to use bows that require 110 strength. So I want to find any longbow that has a high max range, which is damage, and a strength level of 110 or lower. You'll want to find a longbow that you can also wield. Just look for any bow that you can find that has a max range of around 80 or so if you can, and a strength requirement suitable for your character at a price you're happy to pay, then buy it. Once you've bought a good longbow, close the trade broker window and open your inventory, then drag the bow to your hotbar and head outside. Head back to the bank and deposit your gold again, but take out around 1 gold as we'll need that to buy some arrows for your new bow, and maybe some bandages if you're running low on them. Head back outside again and go to the utility vendor, then buy at least 100 longbow arrows and if you need to, some bandages. Close the window and open your inventory, then make sure to right click on the arrows you bought to equip them, and if you want, drag a stack of them to your hotbar again. This will mean that you can use the relevant hotbar keybind to automatically equip more arrows from that stack, saving you time and a few clicks. Now that you're fully geared, head back down into the dungeon and kill all the scoundrels you see like before, but this time try to kill them from far using your new bow. You'll notice that when using your bow and landing your shots, you'll actually have a way easier time killing scoundrels than before. Sometimes you'll even kill them before they can get to you. It's way easier, but be prepared to swap to your melee weapon quickly if you need to. Players could always come out of nowhere and attack you, and the same can be true of NPCs that respawn and you can't block or parry with your bow out. Keep an eye on your stamina too, as using longbows drains it and you don't want to find yourself out of stamina in a fight. Continue going through the dungeon and feel free to dive deeper into it if you dare, killing all NPCs you find, but be careful of players you find down there. Even if their name tag is blue, that doesn't mean that they won't decide to attack you to take everything you have. It's easy to get lost down there, like I said, but explore as much as you want, and when you've looted enough or are done with exploring, try looking for the way out. Take your time and try to generally head higher up within the dungeon to get closer to an exit, and then once you've found your way, get out. Once you're out, head back to the town again and sell your loot. Then head back to the bank to deposit your gold, and you should now be well on your way to buying a horse if you need one, or any skill books you might want to start reading, or anything else really. Now you're able to make some quick and easy gold by yourself at any time, as well as level up your clade gifts pretty fast without having to go far or kill a bunch of zombies. I'd recommend making friends with some of the players you meet in the city or down there in the sewers, or joining a guild so that you can group up when heading down there and explore more of the dungeon in safety, as well as kill the boss. That's all for this video guys, but I hope it helped some newer players out there. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it or it helped at all, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.